Welcome everybody to a new game series here on my channel. I'm Jan of Let's Play History, and we're going to play Field of Glory 2, which was recently free on Steam, and I might still be on sale when this video is published. Haven't played Field of Glory in a while. I've played Medieval, but couldn't really commit to it, and that quickly shows, I think. So this will be a good opportunity for me to get back into the game system. And because the game was free on Steam, we at the International Kriegsspiel Society decided it would be a good opportunity to gather a few folks to play a little tournament. Not very competitive though, it's more a sort of a learning experience in the form of a tournament. So we have many players who have no or very little experience with the game, and that's perfectly fine. We are openly talking about moves and what you could do and all that. Anyways, we're playing over 5 rounds, a Swiss type, like chess type tournament. So during the first round, the ranking of the players is randomly determined, so that you get random matchups, and then over the following terms the ranking is adjusted based on the points the players got per round, and thus you sort of first make sure that stronger players play against each other, and that you can also take care of that nobody plays against the same player twice. And the longer you do this sort of Swiss tournament style system, the more sort of the better players or different levels of experience, I guess, of players crystallize, so to say. But again, this is not about winning so much as much more about having fun together and getting back into the game, or getting into the game at all. So we will have fun and talk about it. First round, I will be playing against Ministop with my Macedon army against his Indians. We can take a look at the Indian list for a second. We do have the elephants here, of course, up to 7. Heavy chariots in this list, 2. We have light chariots, 3. The special thing about heavy chariots is they do disappear if they do not break the enemy, I believe. Then we have medium cavalry up to 5, light horse archers 2, heavy artillery, light artillery. Not sure, I wouldn't use those, but maybe players do. We have Indian close fighters, which are medium foot with light spear and swords. So they are much more mobile than my pikemen, of course. We have the Indian archers up to 18, and they will play a huge role, I think, in trying to disrupt my heavy pike before they get close and crush them. And then we have 2 light archers. Okay. Now, quick look at the Macedon list. Up to 2 war elephants. Up to 3 Cistophoroi, which are lance riders. We have veteran cavalry 1, armored cavalry 2, so these are all medium cavalry, armored cavalry. We have up to 2 light javelin horse, 1 heavy artillery, up to 2 veteran pikes, so these are the the silver shield, so to say. Up to 3 superior war bands. That's interesting. Warbands might come in handy. Then we have the normal pikes up to 6. Thorakitai, which are medium spear, offensive spearmen, medium infantry though. Hoplites, offensive spearmen, mercenaries. Thracians with ram fire, they have heavy weapons, which I think is good against elephants. I need to double check that. Citizen hoplites, they are undrilled, so very low morale. More Threophori. So the Thorakitai are basically light hoplites, And the Thorophory are an even lighter version of that, I think. They don't have the body armor. Of course, also medium foot. And then we have a fair amount of skirmishes in this list, actually. 2 Cretan archers, very good light archers. 2 normal archers, 2 slingers, light javelin. Okay, let's take a look at the battlefield. So this is a lot of open terrain here. We have woods back here. We have some rough ground back there. No swamps, no river, no hills. So I'm not sure the rough ground will play much of a role here. If we take a look at the deployment zone from here to here, you see the grid like this area. So there might be on deployment, there might be Indian forces in the woods, who knows. Well. I tend to go with quality over quantity, so I will pick another silver shield unit. Then we have the usual pikes. We have Thorophory, we have Xistophory, which are like Hetyroi cavalry. We think about Alexander, which I will pick another one, but not more, I think. The big question is, do I want to take elephants? Potentially to counter the cavalry. I'm not so sure about that. I definitely want to take the Cretan archers and more archers. I need skirmishers to cover my pike formations, because the pike, they do suffer because of their, they suffer quality loss or fighting capabilities for every loss they take because of the deep pike formation, I think. And they rely on not being disordered, of course. Armor advantage, okay. Yeah, I think it's the deep pike, even though it doesn't really say here, but I think it's the deep pike that makes them much weaker when they take losses. Okay. I would take superior warbands, sure. Sure. Warbands are impact foot, although they are unmaneuverable. But impact foot is very important to break the enemy quickly. If this Indian list, these guys, no, they are just medium infantry. Okay, well, that's difficult for the Indians. That's really difficult. They need to use the elephants to put up zones of control and prevent my pikemen and the warband to get in close and just crush their archers, right? I want to take the Thracians. Let's double check the heavy weapons. They get 100 POA versus elephants and versus mounted and versus any foot. And cancel 5 POA, so points of advantage of enemy armor, which is great. So these guys will probably go on the flanks to be where the elephants might be and hopefully flank them. They won't be able, they are only medium foot protected. They won't really withstand frontal elephant attacks, but they will be good to flank the elephants and potentially break them. So I guess I get more skirmishes here, the slingers. Not sure if I need the javelin. Maybe yes. Let's pick all the skirmishes I can get. With 1,200 points, how many? Yeah, you can get quite a lot of elephants and archers. I would take more thoroughfare. Let's see, they are average protected and the Thoracitae are average armored. Okay, so armor level is the difference there. 148 points remaining. I would like to pick some more cavalry. Even as a reserve, right? And to do I want to pick elephants though? Extra negative modifier for losing impact combat against elephants, which is good. Yeah. Let's maybe take one elephant. And now I'm running low on points. So what I will be doing is, do I want to have the slingers? They have a range of 2. Cohesion test modifier and open for foot without close combat capabilities. No impact, no capabilities. And the javelin men, they do have light spears, right? Yeah, they have plus 100 POA on impact, at least. Unless light spearmen are charging mounted shock troops, which they hopefully won't be doing. So I get rid of the slingers, even though they have more range, to get a few more points. And do I want to go with medium, or do I want to rely on pike? Or even more cavalry, potentially, right? Light horse could be cool to counter the enemy skirmishes and poke at the elephants. So another warband might be quite interesting. Or another pike, which I cannot even buy. So Thoracitae would be possible. Well, I guess I go with one Thoracitae then. I must say I'm not super happy with this selection of troops. Anyways, I will accept. And I can put more generals, which I will definitely put one here in the warbands to even put more strength into the impact. And then potentially in the elephant one or in the cavalry. Let's see, let's see. Let's see. So I don't know, maybe he will put troops in the woods. So let's have my javelin men there for now. Have the Cretan archers here. Have the normal archers here. Put the light horse over there. And then. So terrain sort of dictates, this rough ground, dictates to have cavalry on the right flank. So we will do that. It's not necessarily... I don't have to put the cavalry far up. I can sit and wait. And one should always have like cavalry in the rear. Thing with the Cystophery is lances do stay in combat. They accept the combat, while, or the impulse rather, while the usual medium cavalry would evade if it makes more sense for them to do that. So let's maybe have one Slitherine and one normal cavalry here. And I do have the veteran pike. I need to take a look at the grid. Veteran pike goes here, supported by phalanx. I will put Slitherine there. I don't want to have the Thracians be immediately disrupted, so I will put them on the flanks. I'll probably put the phalanx here, put the Thracitai there, use the warbands as a sort of a reserve once we have identified the weak point of the enemy formation. That's where I want to push these guys in. So overall commander goes into this unit, and then I will put a general here, which I now have to assign all the units to. What is your command range? It's horrible. Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for nothing. Oh, they are all horrible. Okay. Well, what can you do? The elephant over here. Wondering about the necessity to put a general over there. So these guys go with overall command. Come over here because the CNCs, they have quite some range. Let's see, these guys are one and the same command group, which is good to see. Now we have Thracians and Thracians on this flank, supporting the cavalry. I'm not super happy with that, but that's what I will go with, and I'm looking forward to see Ministop's Indian deployment very soon. And there we see the Indian army. Interestingly though, he's brought light artillery there. Heavy chariots, light chariots, cavalry. I only see 3 elephants. There are some archers in the woods. Okay, which will provide them the cover they need. And is this even heavy artillery? He actually has brought heavy artillery. I mean, artillery is good against large targets, as are the pike phalanx troops. But I usually have made the experience that they are only really suitable to use in a static defense. And so we have the close fighters over here, some in reserve. Not sure how he wants to play this. Anyways, it looks very interesting. I would have said he needed more elephants to cover the archers, because once my pikemen clash with the archers, they are basically gone. So you want to protect them, right? Okay, we will. I mean, the light chariots here, they are a problem for my light infantry, the skirmishers, of course. So I will keep them in touch with my infantry line, just so that I can fall back with these skirmishers. if need be. Consolidate here. We will bring up the superior warband. Superior. And so the cavalry wing, the more mobile wing, seems to be over here. So far I can see one medium cavalry, one heavy chariots, which have bows. And the light chariots, which also have bows. Okay. All good. So that makes me think to potentially bring over my commander-in-chief with his Sistofori. Or really at this point they should be Hitaroi. Kyriakos, son of Xanthipos. He could join Dionysiodorus, son of Archippos. Meliton. Protea. He even has... Wait, there's a general in the light chariots. Okay, that's interesting. Then there's a general in the heavy chariots, which I think makes sense. Commander-in-chief is in the elephants over here. That's interesting. And then one is in the close fighters, so the medium infantry. I guess I'll wait and see where these go, right? So my light horse, they only have javelins for a range of 1. Doesn't really make a lot of sense to bring them forward. How many movement points? 16, 12, 16. And they got 20. But they got bows, and horse bows can shoot 2. So they can shoot up to here without moving. Or they can move 1, 2, 3, 4 and then shoot out of range. Okay, so I will stay put. Also because obviously the archers are very dangerous against cavalry, because cavalry, as you can see, they only have a few men. 237, 228, 235. These only have 126, 116. So they will very quickly, when shot at by massed archers with ammunition, very quickly disrupt. Or at least have to test with a high potential of actually disrupting. So we need to keep that in mind. We need to keep them somewhat away from the archers as long as we can, and then hit with them once the time comes to do so. Ideally to move along the lines and route the archers all along. But I guess, as I said, I might bring this guy over. He's out of range for most of the light infantry anyway. Let's move him over here. That should be good, yes. Keep him here, so there's potential for this unit to move over to the right flank and support against the other cavalry. So also Stofferi, they have lances, so they will stay in combat and not evade, which might be helpful and come in handy when fighting the heavy chariots, so that the Stofferi, they might lose actually. What is the impact of these guys? Let's see. So they are superior, high morale. They have an open terrain 150 versus any except lances, elephants, light foot, light horse, or steady and non-charging foot, who are pike Okay, so the pike, if they remained defensively and would not attack, the chariot would lose 150 POA, so points of advantage, against my pikemen, and they lose 150 points of advantage against my lances. So putting the lances against the chariots is an important thing to do. They are of course mounted, which doesn't make a difference against cavalry. Then they are superior, which gives them 50 POA, and they have a general, another 50, which gets them to 100 in impact. And in melee, the lances do no longer protect my cavalry though. The pike would still be better, or nullify the 100 POA, but not the lances. So they would have 200 POAs in melee. And the lances are also superior, so that's a match. They get 100 POA against any mounted, so that includes the heavy chariots. They add another negative modifier on any enemy unit's cohesion test for losing the impact combat, which could come in handy as they nullify the impact POA of the chariots. They are mounted, of course, which doesn't make any difference, but they also bring 100 for superior and general. And in melee, they still hold 100 POA versus mounted. That's interesting. Up to 50 versus less well armored. That's only foot. Up to 50 versus less well armored mounted. 0 versus artillery chariots or elephants. So is this only refers to the armor advantage, right? Okay, so we don't add up for armor advantage, but we do add up for swords. 100 and then 200 for troops and a general. So that's a match, and if we then can get the medium cavalry in the flank, that would be perfect. I would bring the... Can I actually turn the elephant already? Because I would bring the elephant to disrupt the enemy cavalry over there. And then hopefully later on push the elephants against the Indian elephants. They are both average. They bring 250 POA against any enemy. What's the special thing about Indian elephants though? Negative modifier on cohesion test of the enemy. 100 POA was any in melee. And mine. 250 was any. They're basically the same, I see. Average, yeah, that's all the same. Okay, interesting. Interesting. We also need to remember that the Thracians with the Rome fires, they are destined to attack the Indian elephants in the flanks so that they can get their heavy weapon bonus to full bear. Alright. There comes the cavalry and the chariots. And some skirmishing against my splendid Cretan archers. There are even more Indian archers. They're in the woods. My javelin men do evade, which is perfect. See these. This is a juicy target. Of course, I'm running into crossfire here if I advance. So I need my light infantry to cover my advance, really. but that's what they are made for anyways. If I go here, can I... Oh, I cannot attack these guys because I'm only in their secondary zone of control, but I'm in the primary zone of control of these forest tribesmen, but I will instead fire long range, which gives me a malus, and I've moved as well, which also reduces my firepower. But anyways, I think that is the better choice in this case. Do I want to redirect these Thracians though? I'm not sure. Let me hunt down these, or not hunt down, but push them out of the way. Now we will follow up with the phalanx, or the pikes rather. Okay, let's see. These guys are a command group, but where is their general then? Oh. The commander-in-chief was in this group, so this group doesn't actually have a general because... Okay, I see. So let's... Should I put the commander-in-chief into this unit? I'm not sure about that. I could put the commander-in-chief in a phalanx unit and then drive over here, or I could put him in the elephants instead. But the elephants are prone to running off somewhere. So I need to prepare myself to counter the chariots, the heavy chariots, and then get into the enemy's flank that way. On the other hand, I could ignore the... I mean, he's coming in my direction, right? So I could potentially ignore his left flank if I have something to counter the, or at least block the cavalry. On the other hand, he's bringing elephants here, and I have mostly medium infantry on the side of the field, so they are in a position to actually outflank and break me there, which I certainly want to prevent. So I will have to put these guys into the rough ground, even though they do not like it. I will put for now the commander-in-chief into the elephants. Have the cavalry come over here to support me. The warband moves through the town. And... this is town 2, 3. Okay. I should probably have put the commander-in-chief into the warband, but I can change that next turn and have these guys advance. It's good to have one in this command group. I messed up with this command group. They were probably not assigned to one of the flanking generals. Yeah, because this one is in the cavalry. They were only assigned to the commander-in-chief, which then left his own command group to join another command group. Because a sub-commander and the commander-in-chief can be in the same command group. Anyways, this is my turn, I guess. And we will see heavy shooting pretty soon. These are archers as well, right? Yeah. I'm wondering whether I should put them in front here to prevent my pikes getting shot up. These guys can already be shot if they come a little closer here. Yeah, I guess I want to prevent that and have some lights to push these skirmishers out of the way at some point. I don't know if I want to actually block them here. It's a bit dangerous, especially with the elephants nearby. So maybe I just bring them in cover or put them here for now. Let's put them here and concentrate our fire. They had to make a morale test but held firm, unfortunately. So there is that, and that's the turn. They held firm. They moved away. No! The javelin men got caught and they immediately break. I mean, at least this light chariot is out of the way then. But right now the pike are unprotected and they are losing quite a lot of men already. Yeah. They might have to make a test pretty soon. Another charge there. Very unfortunate that I'm sitting in the rough ground now. The elephant is somewhat exposed, which might provide the chance to flank them. Okay, we have a charge of archers against archers. They are repelled and disrupted. These archers are disrupted by fire. The Cretan archers, which are better, have higher morale or better quality, which means better chances to successfully make a morale test. Held firm again. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. So I will push to there. Can I get the archers in front? No. Okay, that's an issue. If I move over here, cannot evade either. Can I? Can move these guys here to... Doesn't make a lot of sense. I will try to get these out of the way. Could have been lucky to attack another one, which did not materialize though. And I hate to have them exposed here. That's really not what I want to do. I need to, even though that slows me down, I need to stop here. Take some shots. I will turn over to attack the elephant. Got one! We got one! I will slowly advance here. I'm wondering where to put the warband. The warband, they are going after stuff, so... Well, let's see. Interesting that the elephant did turn over there. It's this your commander, yeah. I potentially want the warband to be in a place to attack several units in a row. Guess for now I keep them just behind the main line. Get me these guys up. A very low chances due to the fact that I'm sitting on rough ground. So let's chase them off with the elephants. It's a little bit risky. Elephant might go places. No, it stays. Which is alright. Which is alright. And I will... Do I really want to send the general in a chase? Chances are high. I mean, this is a flank charge. Any case... I'll put this guy in this unit and then attack. Still good chances as it is flanking, so that it was one auto drop to disrupt it, and then we won the combat with an additional bonus for impact. We have them fragmented, and the follow-up attack could actually already rout them. Do I want to shoot at the medium cavalry rather than attack them, or do I want to chase them off somehow? I am slightly disordered here because of the elephants, but the enemy is moderately disordered, so I still have the upper hand. I will have a 20% impact win chance. Or I can just fire. But then I cannot attack with the veterans, which I probably don't want to do. Now the big question is, do I want to put them here, which would mean they could not evade. On the other hand, if I put them here, these guys could charge through and then potentially swing in to get behind my lines, which I don't really want to happen. So, but I also don't think I have the time to really sit around. So I will go the long route, try to get around. I will have this Christophany with the general come over here, because I don't want them to be held up by the elephant. And then I will bring up my my medium infantry, the Thracians as well, because those are meant to fight the elephants, right? Together with the warbands, maybe. So pin them down with the Christophany, hope they stand their ground, then get the Thracians and the warband in a flanking position, ideally. So maybe it would be better to get the Thracitai to face the elephant. Problem is, I can't really get those guys up. I can get these here to sort of block the path. And then have these, let me see, if he's here, the elephant would go there and then attack here. So that's not a flanking attack next round. So I do want to prevent that. I don't want to move in there and wait and see what happens. What I will do though is this rather. So let me see, those guys, they have 10 movement points usually. Moving diagonally costs 6. So they won't be able to attack this flank next turn. Well, that's alright. That's alright. Those guys just need to hold their ground. Potentially I have to... Should I do this right now? Bring over the general to bolster them. But I will also need... them here to bolster those guys who are getting shot to pieces. So now things are getting a little bit problematic because I have my commander-in-chief on the far flank unable to get in here and help. And as he has attacked this turn, even though he's not in combat right now, I cannot switch his position. Should really bring him back to support this position over here, because I cannot bring this guy over. He's needed over here. I will actually shift him into this unit. And I'm very much annoyed that I'm not in a position to charge the first archers already. That's a pain. So they will have one more round to shoot at me. Like actually 2 rounds. I mean, these guys, we can attack these guys next turn. That's okay, but these guys and the follow-up units will be able to shoot me. That's a pain. That is a pain, and probably a reason to bring these guys even further up already. Yep, that's what we do. Oh, they are losing, man, but so far holding firm. No, the elephants! And they immediately disrupt my lances. Okay. What? And they fall back and do not disrupt. That is pretty lucky. Okay. Unfortunate for my for my Sistophorid here. And the light artillery is coming up. Heavy artillery has turned. And yeah, I mean, the Cretan archers, they haven't dealt much damage so far, but their better morale, their quality, has prevented them from disrupting, which is also very important as they are screening my pikemen. My Sarissa phalanx man. Hoplites. And these chariots are still after those. Okay, which is good. Do I want to attack? Especially now that I have the commander-in-chief here. Ooh, I don't think I do. What I want to do, however, is to get me some support. 60% of failing. Let me get these guys here. Reduced to 46, which still is not good. Do I want to risk it though, to improve the chances of my Sistophory? And I think I will do that. Let's get over here, shoot at the other elephants. Got another one. Another one bites the dust. And then we shall flank here. And as this is a light chariot, the light horse can charge. And it is a flanking charge, which means this unit will automatically break. And then these Sistophory will follow up and potentially run into the Indian cavalry or even the chariots. I'm very curious to see how this turns out. And they chase away the Indian cavalry, medium cavalry, and stay put here. They could have continued, but okay, they did not have... That was very good. They did not have enough movement points to go further and actually pursue them even further. So the elephant has very good chances against the chariot, which I will exploit. And that is even though I have moved the general out of this unit. So attack the chariots. And they held firm and fell back, unfortunately. That's not quite what I was looking for, right? Where do I put whom? These can attack next turn. I want to move these guys out of the way. They only have a range of 1. I don't want to put them in here. Or do I? Maybe I do want to put them in there. So that this elephant, who would potentially charge them, might just run through this gap instead of attacking my Sistophory, right? I could even attack... this is super gamey. I'm no fan of doing that, and I will not. I could charge them, which are very high, with very high potential of getting disrupted, at least, if not fragmented. However, these units would usually then fall back, which they cannot, because their path behind them is blocked, the grid behind them is blocked. So they would stay in close combat, which then would mean... Well, it wouldn't change that much, would it? Well, it would change the situation insofar as if they would not break on the enemy's turn. This situation I have described of the elephants running into my Sistophory would have been prevented, but this is a gamble and I won't do it anyway. Okay, we didn't get one, which is unfortunate. Now I'm thinking about where to put this cavalry unit. If I put it here, it will prevent the heavy chariots from going after my elephant. I think they can't even shoot at them then, which would be good because they are superior. Otherwise, or on the other hand rather, it would mean that the chariot would probably potentially actually go into close combat. Maybe? No, we have seen they don't really have the advantage to do that. Yeah, very unfortunate. I'm not getting into a flanking position against the chariot that way, and if the chariot stays or turns, the cavalry unit cannot move into the elephant's flank either, but I will move there and see how it goes. Let's attack here. We need to do the melee anyways, and it's better to see how things develop and then react to it by moving your units rather than having that happening during the turn resolution, or the replay rather, during the enemy's turn, especially if several units are in melee, because then the computer decides based on the highest chances, the best chances for the enemy unit, in which order these single melees will be resolved. So the unit, my unit that has the least chances of winning a combat would then fight first, and so on and so on. While when you are active in your turn, you want to have the unit that has the highest chances to succeed fight first, because that might increase the chances of those units who have lower chances to then actually achieve something against the enemy unit, right? I'm also contemplating to move the Thorakitai over, and I will do that. They are also in a flanking position now. And I might actually to relieve the Sistophory of a little bit of pressure. They still have about 50% chance of losing. I mean, the Thorakitai also have about 50% chance of losing the impact, but I will do that because melee chances are very high, than 77%, and the enemy, and that will bind this elephant, even if with a very unlucky roll the cavalry routes, breaks and routes, then the elephant will be pinned in position and I will be able to flank them with the Thorakitai. So that's what I'm going to do here. I risk the impact. And I get a draw, which is excellent. Most excellent. It is beautiful. That's what I wanted to see. Okay. Now, I guess I have to start thinking about pushing my my infantry into combat. I will attack because even my Slitherine have very good chance, and they did disrupt the archers. I will attack. And I will also use the Thracians, because the elephants seem to come over here. Use the Thracians to drive off one of the light archers to prevent them from charging my flanks, even though they would not auto-drop the unit because they are lights and this is a medium unit. But I want to potentially run into the Indian archers, because when you are following up, or are in pursuit rather, you have a chance of getting +4 additional movement points. So let's try. And they actually got them, but they ran past that unit. Okay. Well, the archers could now charge and flank that unit, but the unit will not be dropped. It gets a slight negative modifier for that, but it will not auto drop. So that's good. Then we push on with the skirmishes. Well, they are blocking me here, which is unfortunate. So probably have to get out of the way already, because I need to get these guys in range. That's the thing, right? Let's move the veteran pike with the general over here. Let's have these guys move in here. I mean, there's still an open slot here, so the enemy can still fire at the general's unit, but I guess we have to go with that. I can't attack here because I'm disrupted. I can try here, but that is not very likely that the enemy will run away, nor that it will immediately break, of course. So I really guess it's time to get the warband up and have it run into this blob of units next turn. I'm wondering, I could let's see. What I will do is bring these guys here. Of course, they can be shot at from various directions. I see that. I don't want to create a gap here. I mean, what ministop could do potentially if he does not shoot and rather gets his tribesmen out of the way, the light archers, and then risks to attack, even though he has very high chances of losing the impact. This unit would be in melee, and this unit over here of the archers could attack and auto-drop the phalanx, which is exactly what he wants to do, to get rid of them. But I will bring this unit over here. What I could do... No. My man will simply disrupt, I guess. Don't want to risk that. 6. Do I want to shoot at the skirmishers? No, I want to shoot at the archers, even though that means I'm turning and losing efficiency that way. I'm not concerned about these. They are still moving. Do we have any unit that is still able to move? Yeah, this one, which didn't move at all because the skirmishers are locked in zones of control, and that is everything. Okay. So, I mean, so far we have routed one light unit each, with high potential of these archers running soon, of these Indian archers running soon, and potentially the Sistofri, although they are of superior quality, though they have high chances to withstand a morale test. Or pass a morale test, rather. Okay, the cavalry comes back, but doesn't threat the Sistofori, which is good. The heavy chariots have turned over here. Interesting. The massed archers are falling back and disrupting the pike. That's horrible. That is indeed horrible. Oof. The volume of fire they are putting out is just harsh. Ooh, double drop on the elephants. Wow. That's massive. That is massive. And another double drop on the archers. They break in the face of the thoroughfare. The light chariots, however, have stopped pursuing, and Sistofori have now rallied up as they have a general with them. I will now charge in with the Thracians into the flank of the enemy elephants with their heavy weapons, causing the auto drop anyways, and fragmented. Can we get these elephants to... they hold firm. Christopher, go in. They hold firm. I will... Now, let me charge here. Yeah, that elephant breaks. That means this one is very likely to break as well. And now the Sistofori follow up. Okay, that is good. That is good. Where do I need the lights? They are too far away here to actually attack, which is a pain. And because of the zone of control, I am unable to pursue. I have the commander-in-chief here, but he is unable to join that fight. We see over here, the chances of the chariots are very high, of course. Very much, this is a routing sub-general. Okay. Where to put the light horse? Guess I wanna weaken this general here. I cannot move in this direction because I am stuck in a secondary zone of control. And I can't remember right from the top of my head which chances these guys have. I can turn over there and leave these guys alone, but that's probably not a good idea, so I will turn these guys. I will not dare to attack. I will attack with the lights. Ooh, they actually won the combat. Holy smokes, who would have thought that? I mean, the chariots held firm, probably because of their general, but wow. Now they will, on the enemy's turn, they will turn over here, and the light horse will most likely lose that combat and then fall back. If they stick in, I will then be able to outflank, but I don't really need 2 units to do that. So I can have this cavalry move up here. I cannot move the thoroughfare because they did fight. Same for the Thracians. The Thracitai could still move. The elephant is pursuing. The Sistofori are pursuing. I will want to somehow protect this troop and give them a general. 1, 2, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4. So if they were there, they should be able to send the general there. However, of course, I mean, all these units can fire upon them, maybe even the heavy artillery, I believe, yeah. So that's not the best option. I could move here with the lights, then get these guys to here, and then I will have to attack next turn. Or I just don't bother and charge in, but that opens my flank to attacks I don't want to suffer. I cannot move with these guys because of the tribesmen. Enough. That's horrible. What are the chances here? Not too good, not too good. I will rather try and get into the flank of the enemies potentially. That did not work out. That's horrible. Okay. Let's get me the veteran pikes over here, blocking the elephants in. Then I will try to get a follow-up attack by chasing down these guys, which does not happen, unfortunately. Fire archers. So this fleeing unit is in the way for now, but they will move pretty quickly. So I want these guys to move. 1, 2. They can get here. So I need archers here. Get these guys there. Move these guys here. I have a gap in my line, which I do not like, but the thoroughfare are here to plug it. What is a bit scary are these archers on my flank. I don't really have a unit to chase these guys off, which sort of forces me. I really wanna get the general in there. Let's put him in the warband for now. The warband is also too far away to actually engage next turn, which is horrible. And I really do fear if I push these guys in that they will be routing by fire. So let me move in places. I will actually fire over here, then have the undisrupted unit charge these guys away. They follow up and actually catch them. Okay. So in which way is that better now for me? I don't know. There are a few... The number of units that can shoot at this unit is reduced somewhat slightly. But oh, look at that. I'm still able to get in here and block them off. So this unit can fire, I guess. 1, 2, no, that unit cannot fire at those guys. Not quite sure about the artillery, if they can fire overhead here or not. Then let me chase this elephant off. Unfortunately, they are not following up. And that should be everybody, right? These guys. Do I want to turn them in preparation for next turn? Yes. And I really do hope they rally up. Next turn I can send the general over to help them out. Yeah. Looking all right so far. But we see that how quickly the archers can disrupt and then also fragment these guys, and if they then charge in and win the impact, these guys will just rout, and I don't have that many units, so I need to take care of them. Okay, the general rallied the light chariots back there near the woods. Okay, at least one did disrupt here. The elephants fall back. Okay. Oh, all these arrows. Ah, that's sad. Very unfortunate. Double drop and fall back. Alright, shoot. Attack. Disrupt. Okay. I will get these guys out of here. To have my... Ah, they can't reach. That is unfortunate. So the... Let's wait a second. I need to protect the flank of the pike. So I cannot move the Thracians. I don't want to attack frontally the elephants anyways. So they will stay in position where they are. Now, obviously this movement is 6 points. That's attack would be another 6 action points. So 12 would be needed. Medium infantry has only 10, so they cannot reach. I could either attack this unit. I could move in here and attack these. I can also attack them with these pike though, which I will do. Disrupted immediately. That's nice. That's nice. Well, now the big question is, which fight is more important, or is it maybe more about the facing of my own unit? I do believe that is the case, so I will attack these. Okay, that was a draw. We will attack here, although the chances are a little bit lower because of the general in there. So these are the close fighters, by the way. Then I shall bring archers here. Bring the warband up. Attack these archers with my Thorakitai. Ooh, a double drop. Oh yes. And then go in with the elephants, who hopefully will get a follow-up attack here. Apparently not. Now,
Let's get back to this. Doesn't really matter which one I attack, I guess. So they have... Ooh! They are impact foot. But they did not manage to even disrupt the enemy. They got a draw. Wow. I am amazed. Okay, so this is fleeing. This is fleeing. Then we will just follow up. We shall then... Nope. No. Get here to attack this chariot. As it is fragmented, it is not allowed to attack. We'll attack here with 80% chances to win the impact. We did, however, the enemy held firm, but I have another unit of Slitherine here for flanking charge. Now that they are in combat, there was the auto drop of 1 level to disrupt it, but even though they lost the combat, they held firm because of the general, most likely. Okay, what's next? What's next? What next? I guess attacking these guys. Why don't you do a follow-up attack? Neither the elephant nor the cavalry did. The cavalry is now chasing these archers, which could get them in a weird spot, but we will see. And then we have the lights, and we will just have them sit here and try to rally. Is there anything else? Only these guys, and they will stay put. Okay. Okay. Chariots rallying again. There is a follow-up charge. Do the elephants also charge? Please do. Ooh, double drop. And a drop here, routing there, a breaking unit. Wow. The chariots, the heavy chariots held firm. The warband has pushed back. Okay. Can work with that. Attack here, the elephant, as they are disrupted. And with the general. And my general dies. As is the case in every game I ever played, at least one of my generals must die. It's a golden rule, apparently. Whatever. Let's have them run. Ah, they were blocked. Okay, so there's no follow-up. I will attack here, even though I'm disrupted, because they are already fragmented, and the impact might break them. Yes, it does. So these guys hold firm. I need to push those up. I want to fight here. Okay, indecisive. Go here. Shoot. Have the warband. Well, I could charge in here to hopefully disrupt them, but
I shall rather bring, I don't know, let's they did fight already. They could attack, but they're disrupted. I will just turn them, and that is it. Those guys not, because then they can be attacked. Well, the impact is very bad. I should bring the general over there to hopefully rally them. And I need to protect this unit's flank. If I rush up here, these guys are able to move in here and then potentially attack me, which I don't want to see. I will do a flanking charge with the elephants. And they break the archers. And cavalry and elephants pursue, but do not follow up into the next unit, sadly. Heavy chariots fragmented, eventually fragmented. Okay. Let's shoot one more time. Let's bring those here. Or rather there. And let's hope they rally up next turn. Follow up with the Thraphori and the Thrakitai. And bring the Thracians over here, which then allows me to bring this unit there. Still cannot attack, because then they can't flank me. So, that is all units. All units have been activated. Well, 1% missing to victory. Very sad. Okay, so one more turn then. Okay, the elephants are gone. Routing archers all along the line. Ah, there's the follow-up charge by the elephants. Hurrah! Under fire by archers and artillery here. But the warband holds firm. A charge against the pike, which is repelled. The enemy is disrupted. The elephants, even though they have the commander-in-chief with them, were fragmented even. They were disrupted before. And we have killed the general, and eventually the heavy chariots break, and that is victory. Hurrah, boys, hurrah. Let's take a look at the battlefield. Okay, so very interesting battle. I was quite surprised that the massed archers were actually able to repeatedly fall back without disrupting. I think only, I don't know, 2 of them were disrupted by falling back, which was quite impressive. What, in my opinion, was a mistake, so to say, ministop8, is that he didn't have elephants along the line to cover the archers with their control zones. I mean, you can see they get disrupted eventually, but if they are far enough behind, let's say the line would have been here, and the archers would have fired while I was advancing against them, and you can count, if you know how many movement points they have, you can count how far they can move. That is 2 grids straight ahead for the heavy pikes, for example, and for almost every other foot unit as well. And then you can fall back into cover of the zones of control of the elephants, which are able to hold some time. I mean, these 2 over here, they did break because they were outflanked by infantry, by cavalry and whatnot. These heavy chariots here, they actually managed to pin down these 2 strong cavalry units, which didn't do much other than fighting the chariots. My medium cavalry got in eventually, and what could and maybe he should also have used the rough ground, like the marshes and the actual called rough ground, these patches here, and the woods, because my pike are basically unable to attack. Well, I mean, they can attack, but they will be heavily disrupted attacking into woods or attacking into marshes or rough ground, or even moving into it. That's something they want to avoid. I think seeing the deployment, I could have, maybe should have tried to get the warbands further up so they can clash with the enemy lines, and with their impact capability they could have disrupted the enemy much quicker, but they were equally slow as the pike, of course, and the medium infantry as well. At some point my skirmishers were in the way for me to get up, otherwise I needed them to prevent disruption. As you can see, several of my units got disrupted by enemy fire. Only thing is, even the Indian medium foot close combat infantry, the close fighters, they aren't much better than the Indian archers, right? Let's see, they are average, unprotected. Well, they don't have any melee weapons whatsoever, the archers. And these guys are average. Well, they are protected and have light spears, which are for impact, and swords. However, especially the more experienced units over here, like this one, superior, they can't be held off by neither the bowmen, the archers, nor the close fighters. They are not in a position to actually challenge them unless they are in the rough ground, in the marshes, or the buildings, like the build-up area, or the woods. Oh, and I think this chariot was forgotten at some point, although it did quite the chase right down here, following some light troops that were routed. Well, very interesting. I know that in the battle, I think in this round, Damon versus Peter, Damon managed to use his Indians to actually, I think he had also some hills he could defend, but he managed to disrupt Peter's pike. I haven't seen the actual battle, but Damon gave us a little after action report. Managed to disrupt the pike and then actually get into positions to outflank them, which causes, when they are in melee already, causes auto disruption, of course, and then quickly breaks them. And that means that very quickly the Macedon army will get into serious trouble, because these pike formations are huge, almost 1,000 men, and that is quite a high percentage of your army if one or two of those rout and run away, right? So if you manage to do that, you have good chances against the Macedons. And as you could see here in our battle, I had problems protecting this flank. So if there would have been more units hidden in the woods, that means in the second row, or I guess infantry is also hidden in the first row, adjacent to the open, but cavalry is not, for example. I could have gotten into serious trouble had I not had the Thracians in the second row to actually cover the flank. But they also can only do so much. So if you have, I don't know, 3 or 2 units hidden here, which can swarm out and get behind my lines while I'm trying to fight down the elephants, then I'll be in trouble pretty quickly. Well, that was round 1 for our IKS tourney, and thanks a lot to Ministop for this interesting session, and I see you on the next one. Take care, bye bye.